So what I was saying is I think we'll try something new here today. What I want to do is test out a few new technologies that we've got out here in the .NET world, and see how viable they are for the project that I want to do. So the two new technologies I want to look at here are going to be Blazor, and we're going to use a technology to wrap it up called ElectronNet. You might be familiar with Electron. It runs like a bunch of desktop applications that you use, like if you use Slack, for example, or VS Code. All those are based on Electron at their heart, and at the core of them. What I'm looking to do is, I think I want to take Electron as the host for my application, run a Blazor app inside of it, and then because I really like ReactiveUI, and I know that we've got support for Blazor now out there in ReactiveUI, see if we can hook that up there and use that for our user interface hooks and whatnot. The idea for the app that I'm looking to build, to kind of give you an idea, and sort of, we're not really going to get into it too much, but probably not on today's stream, just with the amount of time that we've got. But the core idea for today's or for the app that I'm looking to build, excuse me, is I need the ability to, across platforms, track time. And now, right, we've got time trackers, stuff like that. Like over by us, we use Harvest to track our time for client work. I also use like a secondary app called Rescue Time, which is really cool because it'll look at your running applications and kind of see what applications you're running and stuff like that out there, and kind of help keep track of the apps that you have open over time. But what I want to do, this maybe will sound a little bit big brothery, I want to take it like one step further than that. So what I'm looking to do is I want an app that, while I'm doing development throughout the day, every couple of minutes or so, it will go and take a screenshot of certain applications that are running on my computer. So say, for example, if I'm running Visual Studio, I wanted to go and take a screenshot of Visual Studio at that time. I also want it to be able to go out and capture the window titles, similar to like Rescue Time. I wanted to say like, hey, you're in Visual Studio right now, like that's your active project. And then I also, so the last thing I wanted to do is I wanted to go grab Git commit information from my local machine and sort of aggregate all that stuff together, so I could see like what Git commits did I make throughout the day, what was I up to throughout the day, because at least personally I know I get pulled like a bunch of different ways here throughout just the course of a day, and I'm pretty good at keeping track of my time, but every once in a while, in like an hour I might bounce off to two different things, and I just wish I had just a better recollection of that stuff. So what does any of that have to do with Blazor and ElectronNet? Well, I want it to run cross-platform, so I want it to be able to run on primarily on the Mac and on Windows. And I think the user interface for this is going to be better suited to be like web-driven. So yeah, I do know that I could create this and have it run and build like a Xamarin Forms application and build like a Mac host for it. And build a, like a Windows desktop host for it. But I want to give this a shot with Blazor because I think potentially later on we could end up running the back end out on a server somewhere and just kind of kick stuff up via an API. And I think this will be just a cool way to just sort of get that all up and running. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get coding here for our application. So I'm out here in Visual Studio on Windows. I can't do much to change the font size here yet, but when we get into the editor, I'll change it up and make the fonts a little bit bigger. We're going to do a Blazor app out here. As always, which seems to be the case with me, I've spent maybe 15 minutes prepping for this, so we're going to see how this goes here. Maybe good, maybe bad. We'll see how far we can make it today, though. All right, so we're going to do a new Blazor app. I'm going to call it Wizard State. That's what we call it while you're out there programming, right? At least that's what I call it. You get out in the wizard state, heads down in code. Let's see here. Configure for HTTPS, sure. Blazor server app. Yeah, so I think this would be cool to use with WebAssembly, but I also don't know that it's necessary for what I'm looking to do. Because if it's just like a self-hosted application, like I could probably just use SignalR and have it communicate locally, and I don't really think that'll be a problem. What I do want to do, though, I think this is the right way to do this. I'm going to do it this way. We're going to do it. I think this is the way to do this. Again, probably should have prepped up a little bit more here, but we're going to roll. Roll with what we got here. Hope everybody's having a good new year. Had a pretty good few weeks here myself. I know I took a couple weeks off from the stream here, but with the holidays and with the new year and everything like that, it was cool just to have a break and take a few days off and chill. All right, so let's see what we got here. We got our Visual Studio here. Let's see, we'll change it from IIS Express to be, I think that'll make it self-hosted. Let me see what I could do here. Well, once we get into code, I'll so let's just we'll come out here to start up. And hopefully that should be good. Happy New Year, Ralph Unit. Thanks for joining. Right. Hopefully that font's big enough to read. Let me know. I can make it a little bit larger there as well. So let's see. So like I said, so what we're going to do is we're going to glue a few things together here. And go ahead and we'll just fire up good old Internet Explorer Edge here, I suppose. And we're going to look at ElectronNet. Electron.net. So yeah, so Electron by itself it basically is going to give you like a container for running an instance of Chrome, right? So it's like sort of a self-contained browser that we could run everything against here. What we're going to want to do is piggyback on that, and I think try running our applications in its own browser here using ElectronNet, because that way we could sort of encapsulate this as its own little desktop application. So let's go ahead and see how we do that, because I don't fully know. All right, so in our ASP.NET Core app, we are going to install. Let's see if I can. See if I zoom in here a little bit too. Zoom. Cool. All right, let's take a look here. We are going to install the ElectronNet API. Okay. Let's come out to our project here. Actually, you know what? Before we even do that, let's just make sure everything else is cool. Because who knows? We'll just run the default application as is and just see how this goes for us. Got a pretty non-exciting static sighting style break here. Was working on my office, and I had a beautiful wood paneled office previously. I guess it still is wood paneled, but it was this fantastic walnut color. Wasn't great. It's pretty dungeness in here. So my wife helped me. My wife and I worked together, and we repainted it and got it looking nice here. So it's actually kind of cool to be in my office now. It doesn't feel as dank or dungeness as it did before, so it's actually kind of a nice, cool thing. All right, cool. Looks like our app is up and running here to some extent. All right, so let's try to wrap this up with some Electron then. Manage our NuGet packages. Browse out. ElectronNet API, I believe. This is the one. Hmm. Well, okay. So I don't know. This one looks dubious. It hasn't been touched for half a year, whereas this one was just updated. Let's roll with this. Okay, gotta make some modifications here. Take my glasses off quick. Let's see. So in build web host, or do some work to use Electron. Cool. Oh, get that in here. View startup, build. That's my web builder. Let's make sure it's the same one. Build web host. Let's create host builder. Use endpoints. It seems like the one. Use startup. We're going to say use Electron. Let's see here. Let's give this a shot. Okay, we get that there. And our startup.cs, what do we need to do? And pop this guy in. Open the Electron window. Okie dokes. Let's see, that's out in our configure. All right, easy enough. Start the application. .NET Tools. All right, so I might have installed this already. I did this before, I think, but we'll do it again just in case, because who knows? Yeah, so that's already installed. All right. Electronize init. Let's see. What didn't you like there? Path cannot be null. So to start the application, do this. In my core folder, so maybe I need to go in one more. Okay, cool. Now looks like that got that. Let's see. Now I just start. Oh, unauthorized. I don't know. That doesn't matter, I don't think. Maybe it did matter. Let me see. Let's see. Override. Let's see. I wonder if this is... Set that to like all. Rebuild that there. Let's give that a shot. Rebuild looks good. Let's see here. Try and give that another shot here. Maybe it just could have been something with, looks like NuGet is choking on something there for a minute. And, I know this is faux pas, but my wife made some incredible cinnamon rolls here. I'm going to take a bite of one of these. Give me a moment here while this is building. We did it. Mission accomplished. Right, well that was a quick stream. Kidding. But cool. That actually was pretty easy. I like it when things go like relatively straightforward. Honestly, it doesn't happen that often. If you're new to development, here's a pro tip. Here's like a word of advice, maybe not a pro tip, but you know, you don't just get good at stuff. You can't just be good at programming, right? Anybody that I know that is good, or you're like, man, wow, that person gets a ton of stuff done. How do they do that, you know? And unfortunately, it just requires putting in time. So, whether it's tinkering around with stuff or whatever, sometimes it goes quick like it is here today. Most of the time, you don't look out like this. I don't think that this would work that easily or that fast. This is actually pretty cool. So we've got so we've got our application here. So it's just that stock Blazor app inside of a container here for Electron. So this is like its own, like I was saying, so it's like its own instance of Chrome or Chromium. It's Chromium inside of here. And I wonder if we look, like we could probably see it. Let's see, Electron. Yeah, they got it all like hidden away, but you know, like here would be, here's like all of our application host and everything like that. So that's cool. Cool. I like that. All right, well, that was easy enough. So let's go to our next step here, which is shut that down. We'll just shut this down here. Our next step here is going to be, well, actually two things. We'll do one thing first here before we make our step. So debugging. Yeah, I don't think that if we use that Electron API like that directly we can go ahead and debug in our app, which is kind of a bummer, but not really that big of a deal. I think we can attach the, like, you know, like I was reading here, I think we just have to go in and attach to the process. So that's really not that big of a pain. Okay, well, I think that's probably good enough for that. Let's bring in my number one favorite tool then at this point in time. ReactiveUI. And I think that there is a specific package for Blazor and ReactiveUI. ReactiveUI, Blazor. There we go. Man, everybody's been busy here. Just came out a few days ago too. Latest release. We need to install everything that ever existed. I accept. All right. Now, how do we test this out? That's the question. Let's come out here. And I don't know. Let's see what we got going on here. Component base, platform operations, registrations. Probably gonna have to start up a few things. I don't know if we have anything that got automatically added here. I don't see anything that got automatically added, so that's okay. Let's just keep on prodding here. I assume that we're going to have to do some amount of registration to get ReactiveUI hooked up here with Blazor. Let's go ahead and we'll just see if we can figure that out. So I wonder if there is a test app. It's always like my go-to. Find a simple implementation of it, if we can. And that's usually like a pretty good place to just kind of start there. So maybe this is what we want. All right, what do we got? We got some Fody Weavers in here for ReactiveUI. So cool, we'll pull that into. I love this plugin. It basically just makes, so if we're making a like an observable property or creating a reactive command or things like that, just gives us some attribution that we could call into to at compile time replace our attribute with the raise if property change, whatever it is, raise instead of change. I can't remember what the ReactiveUI one is. I use this long enough I can't remember. It basically just does like our iNotify property change stuff out there for us, which is pretty cool. So I'll install that here as well. Ciao. Right, and I know that we've got to add, it's going to copy both of these. I'm going to have to type this out here. We're going to add a new XML file. XML. And we'll just snag this out here. Yikes. Awful formatting. Okay, there we go. What are you saying? You not find that? Let's try building. Maybe that'll add that in there. Let's see. Hey, B Bustler, thanks for following. Appreciate it. Hopefully you learn a little bit here, or just come with me on the journey to find out some more about Blazor, Electron, and gluing it to ReactiveUI here. All right, so we got that set up here. Let's take a look at program. See if ReactiveUI needs anything there. It does not. Let's take a look at startup. See if ReactiveUI needs anything out here. Surprisingly, doesn't appear to. That's cool enough. All right. Let's do our view models here. So he's got like a greeting view model. Okay, cool. I'm cool with both of these. So observable as property. All right, you know what? And I straight up, who wrote this? Glenn? Rich Bryant. Thank you, Rich. I'm going to borrow this for a minute just to make sure that we got everything hooked up. So let's go ahead and just let's kind of stub this out here. And then we'll just pull in that code just to make sure that we can get this thing working here, right? View models. And we'll add a new class. What was that? The greeting view model. All right, and let's get this glued up here. Yeah, this is like pasting in and looking bad. So this is that, like I was mentioning just a minute ago, this is that Fody plugin. So we could basically just, instead of, like I'll even do this usually, like something like reactive, just in case I ever replace that command. Essentially what it's going to do for us though is it's going to give us at compile time, it's going to change this out with the actual like iNotify property change, or the ReactiveUI version of iNotify property change. So if we were to look at like the DLL that gets generated out there and inspect some of that code, it'll actually have all that the good stuff in there to just raise property changes and whatnot. And there's even like other attributes in here, like this one is going to be a calculated property. So it's going to be in the ReactiveUI world, we have this observable as property. It's basically a property that gets created, as we'll take a look, we can see it down here below. A property that gets created or has its value set based on some other observable chain. And so I'm just going to pull in some namespace stuff here. Right. I change formatting because kind of a weirdo about this stuff. I know a lot of people hate the way I format things, but this is my stream. You could deal with it. Yeah, so like I was saying, like here's sort of these calculator properties. Like here's this can clear. We've got this property called can clear. And basically the, in this case, the reactive command out here of clear is going to instruct, it's going to send out a notification saying can execute. Like, so can my command currently execute? And this is actually a really cool thing. It's probably worth talking about this for just a moment. If you've never done ReactiveUI before, or even if you just do like regular MVVM type stuff and you use the I command interface for building out commands in your user interface. So can execute is in I command. Let me see if I can get to, let me see how far down the stack I can get to here. That's a reactive command. This is an I command. And that's a screenshot that I don't want to take. Here we go. Hey, thanks for hosting me, Ralph Unit. Appreciate it. So like I was showing out here, so we have this I command out here interface, which, you know, if you ever do anything in like the Xamarin Forms world or WPF or UWP or whatever, you're probably familiar with this. And so it has the ability to, a command has the ability to instruct whether or not it can execute, saying like, hey, am I currently available to run? And it's like a really powerful thing, but you don't see a lot of people using it in its default manner because it's kind of a pain to set up. Normally you have to have something out here, like you'll see that there's this event to send a notification out to maybe your user interface or whoever's interested to let them know that the state of this command can or cannot currently execute. And then you also have this like method that you would have to call into or you'd have to override that says like, hey, pass in a parameter and let me know whether or not this command can currently execute. And so, you know, by default, like say you've got some user interface and someone's setting up like a sign-in screen and you don't want them to double click it or place an order or something like that. So they're trying to order pizza or something like that. If they click the button twice very fast, there's a chance that they could have gotten in there to place their order twice or create their account twice or whatever it is. And so, like I was saying, like with regular I command, this is kind of a pain in the butt to set up, but in the ReactiveUI world, it's actually like really powerful and really easy to set up. So here, you know, basically we're saying what controls whether our command can run in this case. Is that we need some kind of a name. So we've got this like name property out here, you could see. And this is, I don't know, you know, I really have no idea what this greeting view model is. I just saw it as soon as everybody else here saw it, but we're basically saying, we're going to create this observable chain here that's going to say like, hey, let me know when my name value changes, essentially, right? Or this, you know, this is saying, let me know when my name value changes. And then this here is saying, you know, do we have any value in there, right? If it's not null or white space. So this is going to kick out an observable of bool. We could use that then to control whether or not our command can run. So if we've got our reactive command here, it's got like a bunch of these extra spaces. Again, I'm particular about this. Just makes me nuts. So out here you can see we've got our reactive command. We're going to create the command. And then the first thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to, so the first parameter that we send in is some kind of like unit of work. So here we're just going to set the name back to empty for what it's worth. The next thing that we're going to do then is we're going to instruct it on when it can and cannot execute. So this is that that can execute type functionality that we saw out there in I command. Now the cool thing, like I was saying, is that this is actually really easy for us to rig up and for our user interfaces in general to respond to, because if our user interfaces if our user interface controls respond to I command, they usually will have the ability to listen to the can execute status flag changing or the event changing on it. So for example, like in Xamarin Forms, if I were to use this view model in Xamarin Forms and have this reactive command hooked up to it, I would not, and say this is hooked up to a button to clear, I would not be able to click that button until I actually had a value in that name field, which is awesome. So, you know, it prevents somebody from clearing it until there is something to be cleared, which is, I think is pretty cool. So pretty easy for us to set up here. And like I was saying, we got some other things here like these calculated properties. Like this one's basically just going to format our name into a new string out here. So we'll just say like hello and then pop in the name of the user that we had out there. All right, so let's come back here and let's take a look at our, so we got our view model out there for our greeting view model. Now, how is that rigged up? So it's probably got a page. So we have our index.razor. Okay, so in our current index, we're basically have this like hello world thing. And what they're going to do is they're injecting in this greeting view. So let's go take a look and see if we could find that views. And our greeting view out here. Okay. All right, so I think we'll just do a new views. That's how they've got that structured out here. Oops. As well on their side, so they've got a views. And again, we're just trying to get this figured out here, get it set up, and then see how far we can take it. And we're going to do an add new view. I think there are no scaffolds supported for this item. Okie dokes. Let's go add new item. And let's search for web, call it a razor view. And what's this one called out here? Greeting view. Okay. I feel like the one that I got generated here is a little different. Maybe I need to do like a razor page for it. So let's try it again. New item. So we got a razor. Okay, razor view start. No, no. They have like just like it's like .razor. This looks like the one. And what was that? Greeting view. And then I wonder if this is just like some generated code behind stuff. Maybe. I feel like it's not exactly the same. I don't know. Let's just give it a build. If not, we just add it ourselves, right? It's not that big of a deal. Because this inherits from reactive component base. So maybe we just make that one separate and just pop that in here and just put it as an inheritance. Easy enough. So let's just again, we're gonna borrow. We're borrowing. It's formatting. Well, this, I see advanced. I don't really know that I would say that that formatted that well, but we'll deal with it. All right. Let's add a code behind file. I wonder if I do like a view here. Weird. It doesn't seem to like that. That's okay though. We'll do another new item, and I don't know, I'll just do it as a class because what does it matter? And this will be view.Blazor.cs. I was saying, we just want to make sure that we can get all this stuff clued up first because we are taking a bunch of different things and slapping them all together here. Actually, you know what? I'll grab that part of it for now. Yuck. Let's format it. Must be doing something silly here, but... And we'll grab this guy. Pop that in there. That's... It's probably not worth being super crazy about it. Don't be super crazy about it. Let it go. All right. Let's see if we can come back here. It doesn't like that now. Though, it seems better about things in general. Let's just see if we build. Inherits from reactive component base. Now let's go take a look out here. Maybe there's something else that I missed on the other one. Reactive component base. Perhaps I need to have some kind of like configuration out here for my app to tell this thing how to build. No, doesn't seem like it. 3.1. That looks good. That looks about the same, I think. Reactive. Oops. Yeah, and I don't think I need to pull in ReactiveUI just by itself. Shouldn't matter. Imports Razor. Maybe I need to pull this in. So now, if we come back here, it seems happier-ish. I probably just got to pull in my view model here. I'll just do like, I've got theirs. It's going to be wizard state. Just wizard state, right? Shared, already got that one in there. View models and views. Cool. Easy enough. Doesn't know you about that. This using directory is unnecessary. And here. Now that looks happy, so that's cool. So if view model can clear. All right, so I think the last thing that we need to do here then is perhaps just get this glued up onto our index page. So let's see how this goes. So we've got our greetings view here. And this was our... All right, let's let it rip. All right, for anybody who's joining, we're building a Blazor app hosted inside of an ElectronNet container, but I guess just Electron with hooks on it, and then gluing up some ReactiveUI for the user interface here. So let's see if this works. Can I click this right now? I don't know, it's hard to tell. Ooh, look at that. That is phenomenal. This is... Right, so this is awesome. I love this. Let's take a look at what's going on here. So back on our Razor page out here for greeting. Actually here, let's go out to the code behind for this first. So out here, when this thing gets, when that greetings view gets created, we're going to assign the view model for it. And you can see that we created this thing called reactive component base for our user interface. And then, we're going to try to change this up here in just a moment, but I'm interested in how this is working here. So we're going to have a reactive component base out here, and we're going to tell it that it is based off of our greetings view model. So we're saying, hey, you know, the view model who drives this component is going to be our greetings view model. So we just set that up here. Looks like we've got a method call for clear button out here. There's usually like a life cycle set of events that we can subscribe to. And my guess, again, this is me not knowing Blazor very well and actually not knowing Razor stuff all that well. Usually if I'm doing anything for the web, it's usually like back-end API stuff. My guess is that these are just like regular, sort of like bind on input. I'm guessing that this is just like a super generic ASP.NET Core bind our view model's name and on input. So it's probably making this do like a callback or like a postback. Okay. And if can clear changes, then we go and we update the UI here. I wonder, yes, like when you click, it's going to make a call to that clear method that we saw out there. So my wonder, is there like a, there's probably no like command bind. Find something. I don't know if anybody who's watching has a clue on how to do command binding, or even if it's a thing in a Razor page. Let's see, like Razor page model binding in Razor pages. All right, well, nothing. Bind command, we'll see. Model binding, blah, 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 blah. All right, I don't care about any of that stuff. So that's not a big deal here. Now, so, yeah, that is successful. So we're actually able to get our app up and running. We've got a Blazor app using some view models hosted by ReactiveUI, which is very exciting. But can we run it in an Electron host and have that successfully execute as well? So let's do that now. So we've got Out here, our PowerShell call, and in our PowerShell call, we can make a call to electronize start. Can we get all of this running here? In a self-contained little little dealer. Yeah, it's actually going pretty fairly smoothly, I'll say. I'm actually kind of impressed so far. So it looks good. That looks good. Cool. All right, so we could actually run it inside of our Electron container as well, which is pretty exciting. I think that's pretty cool. Sure. Oh yeah, Sean. Hey, Sean. What is Electron? Yes. So, great question. Electron is a container. So it's sort of like a self-contained container for Chrome for making web applications on the desktop, right? So we'll just look up Electron itself. We'll pull it up here. I'm sure I'm doing a poor way of describing it, right? So, right, build basically gives you the ability to build desktop applications using web technologies. So the idea would be, you know, say you want to build a cross-platform app and you don't want to build it using native stuff, like you don't want to write it in WPF or you don't want to write it in, you know, whatever, Swift or Objective-C or something like that out on the Mac. What you'd rather do is just basically have like a web container host that's running some amount of JavaScript and HTML and all that kind of good stuff there, and let it just go out and run its own self-contained instance of Chromium to drive your app. And so what I'm doing is I'm piggybacking on that so that we actually were using a wrapped version of Electron, which is electron.net, which is giving us hooks to run Electron with a .NET Core application hosted inside of it. And so, like I was saying a little bit earlier here, the idea is I need to build a cross-platform app. So like what I'm looking to do is internally for our company, I want to build a cross-platform app that allows me to, the core thing that we're trying to do is capture time and have a little bit more robust time tracking tooling internally for the company. And normally I would, you know, and perhaps I'll still end up writing it this way. I'd normally write this in probably for me using Xamarin Forms and just have it target Windows and have it target like the Mac, for example. But I thought that this would be kind of a cool way because the UIs that I want to do are going to be a little bit custom or goofy. I don't know a great way to explain it. I want to do kind of some timeline UIs and some things like that I'm sure that somebody already built like a cool JavaScript library for to build out the UI for me. And so what I thought would be neat, and plus I think Blazor is a really neat technology, and Electron's neat enough, you know, whatever. I thought it'd be kind of a cool way just to learn up on some of those technologies. So it's like I was saying, we'll use Electron to sort of host our desktop application. So Electron's giving us the ability to get, you know, we've got like this app Chrome out here, sort of the ability to interact with the desktop. I wonder, actually, that'd be a cool thing to try to do here. See if we could do some desktop interaction from this page as well. But it should, if I was reading right on here, it should give us some ability to do hooks back to the desktop inside of our applications as well. So kind of like a nice you know, if we think of like forms, for example, if you're familiar with Xamarin Forms, we'll think of forms as like a bridge between all the different mobile platforms in .NET, whereas Electron is kind of the bridge between the web to the desktop, right? So you could take all those skills that you have as a web developer and bring it to the desktop. I think this is kind of neat because this gives us the best, you know, this kind of gives us the same sort of thing that we get from forms, right? We're doing all of our code in .NET, building out a desktop application. I can't, you know, I know nothing about JavaScript. Don't ever let me talk to you about JavaScript or anything like that. I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. But like here, instead of doing JavaScript, we could glue up everything using view models. Just like for me in my world, like, you know, typically when I'm doing something for Xamarin Forms or something along those lines, I could glue up my UI, sort of doing it all in the .NET world, and then instead of having to listen for JavaScript triggers or anything like that, I could just listen for property change notifications out here, out on the desktop side, which is pretty cool, right? Or out in our website, I guess. Let that feedback to the desktop. So kind of cool bit of tech here. I guess now that I'm talking about that, let's go see it. I know that, like I was saying, so Electron is going to give us the ability to do some desktop integration, and I thought when I was plunking through here before that there are some bits in here to hook into desktop notifications. I swear I saw something out here for let's see, something out here for listening for changes and things like that. So let's take a look through. So ElectronNet, probably API. Tray. Interesting. Yeah, you can see it's got like a bunch of it's basically just like a bunch of JavaScript notifications that are being wrapped up here, so that's kind of cool. Screen. Let's take a look at this screen. How are these set up here? Screen, okay. Let's see. On display added. No. Display metrics changed. Whenever we change our display out here. Right, so we have some static instance of this. Okay. Get cursor screen point async. All right. Primary display. No. I swear I saw some events around here for like mouse tracking or something like that. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe I'm just making that up. On Max. Or maybe we can mess around with some of these ones. Let's see. So browser window. So we had like one for, I just want to see what we could do here. I wonder if we can build an observable for some of these events. And I'm interested to see if we could listen for, I don't know, just like on minimize, what do we have? On hide. Actions. Close. Well, let's take a look here. So where does this come from? This is ElectronNet.API. That's something or other. Okay. Uninitialized. Let's see if we could piggyback on this one. We'll say, what was that namespace out here? ElectronNet API browser window. Nope. Let's see. That other one had like an instance of it. It was almost like statically hosted. So let's see if we could find out where this is getting referenced out here. Who uses browser window? Dialog. Windows controller. Sort of like window manager. Can I do like? No. Seems like there should be like an instance of it or something like that, like a singleton instance. Maybe I'm just looking at the wrong thing though. Again, this is all new to me, so I'm just trying to figure out what I can. ElectronNet, I swear. Let's see. I'm gonna like some notes lights like over here. Was it Electron? Maybe it's here. Window. Maybe app. We get some app stuff. Let's see. Browser window. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm cool with this. So we'll use like browser window blur. I think we could do this. This is oh, you know what? This isn't going to follow that pattern now, is it? This is going to be an action. Let's see. This is one that I do every day. Just from event, maybe. Might just be this. We'll have to see. Just looking up some reference code here. It's been long enough that it to do the action setup here for this one. Yeah. Now that I could, this might work. Handler, remove handler. We're gonna say, we're gonna select, have this thing return false when that happens, and then So what I'm trying to do here is just listen to see. This doesn't do like a regular event pattern out here, so I'm just gonna have this. I think this will work. Maybe it won't. It's been a minute since I've had to do this exact setup here, but if not, we're gonna try some other things. But I'm just trying to listen for. Wow, what did I type there? True. I'm just trying to listen for when the browser gets focus and loses focus, and then just have that. We're gonna have that update something in our view model here. We'll just do. Call this focused, and we'll just call this reactive, and we could do just gonna merge these two properties together. Name focused. We're see. Combine latest, so it's going to be name and focused, and this will be name and just going to do this a little differently. See, I can't do this. Conditional expression cannot be used. Parenthesize this bad boy. Okie dokes. I can do that. Okay, so now that should say, like, are you focused? And here's your name. And this is supposed to set up here. So we're going to say, like, dot. Start with false. And actually, we're going to say start with true. It's probably right. I don't know. We'll see what that pumps out. And then we'll say find to view model. This will be fine to let's do this. This dot view model dot focused. I'm interested. You know what? I bet that's not gonna work. Hold on. That's probably not gonna. Well, it's probably not gonna do anything, but that's okay. Because this is listening for Electron, and I'm guessing I'm going to have to be hosted in that Electron container for all this stuff to pick up and listen there. If I just run this in a browser, I don't think... How's it going to know to listen for those Electron events? We'll just see what happens here first, I guess. It's not a big deal. And thanks to everybody who's joining here today. We're just looking at a little bit of Blazor, a little bit of ReactiveUI, a little bit of ElectronNet as a container. I mean, well, this worked. ish. Let's see, test. And okay, it didn't like totally trash. Can I get a little bit smaller now? Like this event, if it is firing off, even if this were to, yeah, like it's not picking up, and I wouldn't imagine that to pick up. But if we come out here, and let's fire this up from Electron. Right, so now we'll be in our own self-contained little dealer. It's a technical term, by the way, self-contained dealer. Let's let this bad boy rip out here. Okay, so now no, it didn't. I think that's supposed to listen for that. So that could just be the observable that I have out there, just not firing out there, right? Which is okay. Observable, so you must return something. Got a note, so maybe we have to do like yo. What are they doing out here? That's how he's got that set up in this example. I wonder. Get this delegate out here. Let's see, event for that one. So we're gonna have some action. My event args. From event, I'm gonna give it this. Handler here. So I'm just trying to figure out how to get the handler pumped out here. I guess there's probably a different way that we could do this though. Let's try plan B's way, which is in a section from Lee Campbell. Okay, I trust this one. So we're gonna do is we're just gonna create an observable. All right, and we're gonna say this one's gonna kick out a bool, right this way, and we're gonna say all right, so I need to create a handler for this guy, so we're just gonna say focused equals on next. So when there's true, all this unfocused, on next will be false. And then I think what we could do is we could say so when my browser window is blurred, unfocus. Yeah. And browser window focus. Then you fire off focused. Did I not subscribe to this one as well? Well, I did the bind too. That should do it for me, I think. Let's see here. Turn disposable.create. We need to create a disposable to clean up our trash afterwards. And we're just going to clean these up. Try this way. It's probably like the same thing, but okay, start with true. They're going to set that to our focused. And it's going to be bound there, so it should be listening to that one. Yeah, I don't know. Let's give it a shot. This caused it to build again. Publish. Yeah. Oh. No, let's see. Oop. They had some breakpoints into this bad boy. Let's make sure it's even getting called. So I think what we could do is... Ooh, this will actually be tough. I wonder if this gets called. So we're going to go to debug, attach to process. We're going to find our wizard state. I wonder if I go like out to counter here. It's just attach again. If I come out to our counter page, and then if I come back to home. Alright, well that's cool. So it actually does call into that. Right, and then I should be able to see it like come into here. So now when my browser window blurs, maybe it's just the wrong event. What I'd like to see that do is when... Maybe it's a different thing. So let's try a different event out here to listen to. Screen. No, I don't really want to look at the screen. Does Window Manager have like a main window? Create. Browser windows. Can I get, I thought I saw something in here that was like get the main window. Browser windows first, okay. Alright, we can try that one. Browser windows. What is it? Electron Window Manager, browser windows. Okay, so now are these like regular event? No, these are goofy too. On focus? Okay, cool. We'll give this a shot. And, that's a good thing to think about here. I don't think I could just, like, change this and let this rip. Probably have to recompile and get it to go again. I'm guessing for the back end stuff, we'd have to do a recompile. Maybe for some of the front end stuff, we could test that out in just a moment here. I'll see if I could change a Razor page and just have it pick up. I don't think it will though. Maybe if we're debug connected to it, but even then. No? Bummer. Well, let's try something else stupid. Let's see if we can. Thought we might have gotten it, but I'm probably just doing something silly here. Let's try, no, just because now is going to make me insane. I'm going to do. I'm gonna try, let's set up here now. Diagnose, nope. It's all been a goofy couple days for me here. I'm getting my stuff back. Totally backwards. Right line. There we go. And we'll say focus. We'll just pump this out to something and it should be fine. We're going to try to listen for something else. So we'll do like... I just want to see if this stuff pumps out. So time... seconds. We'll say like every... Thought I saw something in there that was like an async call for something. Really don't care what that interval is, so we'll just underscore that. So like here was like, where did I see that? Electron. Yeah, this is the one that I wanted. Get cursor points. Let's see if this kicks anything out, because this should. Gotta do like. Let's see if we can just dump this out somewhere. You know? This is cool too, if you're not familiar with this. So select many here, you could see is returning a task. So this is something that normally is like pretty difficult to do in regular Link, where if you need to select something, but the thing that you need to select has a task return type or is like an async return type. Normally what you can't, you know, it's kind of difficult to wait for that thing to complete before it returns out here, but in the ReactiveUI world, or the reactive world, I should say, it has nothing to do with ReactiveUI, just in the reactive world, an async method or a task returning method can actually be converted to an observable. It's like an observable that just produces one value out there. And so what we could do is we could call select many here, which is wanting an observable return. And since this is a method call that's going to return a task of some value, we could just put async and await in there, and then it, you know, it'll manage awaiting the completion of this and sending this notification down the chain, which is cool. So we're just going to listen out here. This is going to be x dot, probably like x. Yeah, that's what I thought. X dot y. And we'll just subscribe. I don't know. Let's just see if that gives us anything. If that gets us any further out here with this. So I'm not gonna see that output anywhere now, am I? I could debug onto it and then we'll see it. Take care of something here real quick. Alright, so I've got the kicking out into the debug output, which I don't know if that spits out here. It sure doesn't look like it does. But what we can do is we can come out here to our debug window and we can attach to the process. I wonder if I could do like debug. I don't know if it finds the same name. This isn't the same instance. Oh, hey, check that out. Look at. Hey, and our focus actually was working out here. So you can see I've got my cursor position. Does it not get it when it's not focused? That's okay. Or maybe it's just kicking all the way down here. I'm guessing maybe I'm like all the way down here. Cool. Check that out. So we are actually getting our cursor position out here, and we actually are even getting the focus. So, question is, why didn't that get updated? And I wonder if it's something where So we're assigning our focus out here. Our greeting getting updated. Hello, blah, 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 blah. View model greeting. Now I wonder if there is some other amount of chatter that needs to occur. What I mean by that is, like, I wonder if I'm not doing something to notify our user interface that, like, our view model state has changed. So I wonder if I actually need to, like, pump something out, like, hey, a property's changed, and have that update our UI. This is where I'm just getting into some stuff that's a little bit new to me. So let's see if there's anything else out here. We've got like a host, blah, 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 blah. Nope. That was our index. Let's take a look at our pages. I don't know if there's another one out here, or oops. Like our view models. No, it's just the one views. I think we just had the one out here, right? Yeah. So I wonder if there is something else that we need to hook into to tell it, hey, your property has changed. Do something about it, right? Let's do some learning. Data binding. Ba, 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 ba. So that's like, yeah, it's saying we're going to go do something. Bind a value to a component. Manual refresh filed. Manually trigger UI refresh. State has changed. Okay, so, you know, I wonder if we just need to put something out here like, we could do, let's just do this. A little bit cheesy, but we're gonna listen for our view model changing, and then is not where only when this is not equal to null. I'm gonna select our VM here and just the VM. Can I give this no property? I don't want to listen. I think there's like a... stop debugging this guy. Anyway. I think I could do like a when any, or one of these allows me, I think, to just like grab. I thought one of these allows me just to grab. I don't care about the property at all. There's like a extension method. No. I know of how I can get this with just these guys, but I don't. I like to do it just generically, like and I do one without a type and just have it kick me out some garbage. No. This really doesn't matter. I'm wasting too much time on this. Hang on. We'll just do this. So we'll say when any value. Because really what I care about is just that focused anyway. So X. Well, you know what? Because I'm not going to write it this way anyway. Focused. Right, I could just make this happen. Do. What was it? What was the one here? State has changed. This. State has changed. And, well, like, probably doesn't matter. I don't really need to throttle that. It's not going to happen crazy fast. Okay. Let's try it again. That's good to know. All right, so let's take a look here. And now I think we need that to update and let our UI know that it's changed. Actually, it'd probably be a good thing just to take a look inside of ReactiveUI Blazor stuff and see what it knows about that. I was hoping that this would switch to something. Oh. So we got something here, but it's not was not what I expected. Let's take a look here. See what's up. Oh, okay. Well, that explains that. Right, we're not getting anything here. I wonder, so, let's see. I'm going to change this back. So what did I have this as before? It was like, instead of window manager, I think it had as app. No, it was blur. We'll try it. We'll see if this makes a difference. I don't, you know. We're all learning here today on this one and just kind of getting familiar with this though, but it's all pretty, it's actually all been pretty cool. So, you know, because just the matter of like I guess we've been on for about 2 hours now. We were able to create, oh, you know what, I don't want to do that one. Build, cancel. We're able to build a real simple app here. Obviously, we're just kind of doing the demo app, but we've got it hooked up in an Electron container, which is cool, meaning we could just run it as sort of like a desktop application. And then also we've got it set up so that we could use ReactiveUI on the back end here to drive everything, which also is very cool. I'm going to do, well, also just firing up here. I guess I'm already here, aren't I? Let's come out here, and I wonder if there's some like pre-built hook stuff here for state has changed. That's our reactive component base. And what it is supposed to be doing is listening to this is hard to read with all this being smushed. Something here. Let's see. On property changed. So it does have some stuff in here to say things have changed. Oh, interesting. Right, so it actually has a thing on here that's supposed to listen for. This is actually kind of like exactly what I had set up, or was looking to get. I did not have this set up. I'm going to take that back. This is what I was looking to have set up. But for some reason, you know, like this should have been listening for my property changes and then raising state as change, and I wasn't seeing it do that. I don't know if anybody is on, if there's anything I have to do to like, is there like a threading type of thing? Like, I don't. There's some issues here. This sounds like me right here. I've got a thing. Right. It should be doing a thing. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's me right now. State has changed. Cool. Thank you, move GP0. Let us see. copy and paste our way to success here, right? All right. All right, let's try and give this a shot now, because the other one wasn't really working the way we thought it would. So what do we have to lose? Nothing. We have nothing to lose. Absolutely nothing. It's still not firing off the way I thought it would, but who knows? That could be one of a million other things for what it's worth. See if we could debug on here again. Oh, big stretch. Feels good. I wonder, let me just try. Maybe if we build here, or if I have some kind of like sync issue. So we'll build this one. No, we'll host it over here. I feel like this is building anyway, so I don't really know why these would be out of sync, but who knows? Hey, look at that. There we go. Maybe it was just like a build sync issue. Here we go. You can see now I'm false and I'm true. This is Blazor. I am true or false. Awesome. That's great. That's really, really cool. So that kind of proves out most of what I wanted to figure out here. I guess we can go for like a bonus round. In about 30 more minutes. So the only other thing I was really wanting to figure out here. So the only other big thing I got to figure out how to do here is I need to call a set of platform specific code from .NET Core. And I don't really think you can do that per se. I wonder if I could execute an executable. Like if I had like a .NET Core. No. Right. Right, so I can't just give it like, which is what I would have expected. I can't just like say, hey. Because in .NET Core, you know, it's platform agnostic. Like there's a few hooks in there that are pre-built for it to tell you like the runtime and stuff like that, but I can't just arbitrarily go and fire off some code that knows about a Mac, right? Because .NET Core doesn't know realistically anything about Mac runtime. But I wonder if I could build like a little lightweight command line executable and call that and have that do some of the work that I need it to do. I need to have a command line executable that will go and do some work to grab screenshots and grab grab screenshots and then grab git commit information, and I'll have to figure out a way to do that. I know that there's some libraries to do that. Yeah. Perhaps not for today, though. That might be getting a little bit over my skis. This is cool. This is really exciting. So I think we've got a way now to host a desktop application. Listen for some changes out here and update our UI. Let's see if we could like package this. And then that'll probably be a good place to stop it for today, I think. That'll probably be a good stopping point. So let's see if we can... I saw some stuff out there about how we can package our applications on their website. So here we go. So electronize... Type the following command in your ASP.NET Core folder. So I'm there. Electronize, build. Okay. Okay. I wonder what other kind of stuff we could pull in for Blazor. Knockout JS. No, 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 no. Let's see if there's like any cool UI wrapper stuff for Blazor. Blazor UI. Radzin. It's got 23,000 downloads. What's this about? Oh, cool. So this is like a UI library. Cool. I'm guessing this is not free 50. Community. Well, that's really nice of them. See what else we got. Geospatial business. CSLA. Fabric. Blazor fabric. Oh, cool. So we can get some fabric components out there. Button. That's neat. Hold on. Yeah. That's cool. A lot of stuff in here. Just looking for some UI components, see what's kind of available out there. Let's just search the Nuj's. Do you have like a Blazor like material? Like the material. Matte Blazor. What's this? Ooh, cool. This doesn't work like a Mac. Want me to cram it? Let's see. Or tell me bin desktop. Wizard state. Let's fire it up. Cool. It even creates like an installer and everything. That's really neat. Did it install? No. Oh, it's already going. Maybe. Hey, look at that. Sweet. Oh, we don't want two of them. Abort. Test. Look at that. That's kind of awesome. So it's like a simple package desktop application running its own little web host using Blazor. It's a server-side Blazor, but since it's all self-contained, it like fine. It just uses SignalR to do the communication with itself, which should be like fine from a latency perspective, I guess, right? Just calling itself. I don't know if there's like a performance implication there. Let's take a look if we could. Not using a little bit of CPU just while chilling here, but it's not terrible. It's not using as much memory as like things normally is. Let's see. Using a bit of CPU just to do that counter though. Dang. That's okay. I'm also listening for the mouse moves, so that's probably like... Yeah, see when I move my mouse over here, see how the CPU jumps? Stop moving your mouse. Back downward. On my rest of my CPU. get out of here. Telemetry. Let's come back to wizard state. Yeah, because like when I move my mouse around, it picks up. That's probably just because I'm doing those debug calls out there. I guess it is having to like repaint the page. I wonder how intelligent that is. I guess that's something I really don't know. Like, does it know just to repaint this specific component, or is it repainting like everything? Doesn't seem like it's repainting everything. It seems like it's just repainting this piece, maybe. That's kind of neat. That's cool. All right, let's see. Let's take a look at Matte Blazor. Cool. I don't know. Let's see if we can pull in some of these material components. We'll probably call it a day there. So yeah, I got everything that I kind of thought that I was sort of hoping to get figured out today. I think I got all that pretty much up and going. So let's add in Matte Blazor. Sounds like the name of a Homer Simpson created superhero. Max power. Max power and Matte Blazor. Okay. Cool. So we'll get that in there and that in there. For client side and server side Blazor, add script selection. I don't really know what the hell that means. Static files. For client side and server side Blazor, add script selection. Okay. Oh, maybe I just need to pop this in. Gotcha. And then I've got out here post, and I think it's just telling me to pop this in here. Maybe I pop it in at the end. Again, I don't really, not exactly the most. I'm not the best web developer, but we're working our way through it here. All right, so we'll see what we can get going here. But pretty cool. Like, let's see if we can get this component out here. Matte button. And I'll just try to change our button to a matte button. Let's see what happens there. And that was out here. We had our button. Can I just do this? I wonder what happens, like we haven't done this for a little bit. I wonder what happens now if I run this just straight up in a browser. Like, will it super choke and puke and die, or will the Electron stuff just sort of fail gracefully? I think what we saw before is it seemed like it failed gracefully. Okay, so like, cool. Cool. Wonder if I have to move that JavaScript up higher to get it to like be set up before my page is in. I don't know. I wonder if I have to like, so I put this all the way down here, right? So it's not going to get rendered out till the end. So I wonder if I put it up here. Let's try, let's just rerun it. Yeah, that way it had it right at the first start. So that's cool. I don't know, what else can we do here? Let's look at a button. Form controls, but button. The song that's playing is pretty intense. Button. Oh, you don't say. Command, huh? Hmm. Do we think that works like the way that I think that it works? Let's investigate. The way that I think that that would work is that I can get rid of this crap. And what if I were to say... Yeah. I know I'm getting... I'm getting I don't know what I'm doing here pretty quick. Let's say I did... I don't think I need that. Command, right? And then I think I could do... What's the difference between these two? Like... I should probably figure that out. View model dot... What was my command that I had out there? Clear? Clear? Like, I don't know. We're going to run that again because I don't know if that like picks up automatically or not. That's actually pretty cool. So if this supports command binding, then I could just bind it directly to the view models clear command, and it itself should be able to maintain state, which is cool. Does not look like that is the case though. Or, well, it cleared it, right? Like, so the command worked. It just the can execute doesn't pick up. So I wonder if I could do like what did this have on here? Disabled. So I wonder if I have to, then my view model, does that have that exposed? Well, I've got clear can executes. Can clear. Yep. Okay. So we'll do But I need the inverse of that, I think, huh? Say. So it hooks up the command. I just don't think that it's listening for the change. Which is okay. It's that'd be a big ask for that to have all that stuff on there. So like we'll just say like can clear. Is that being used anywhere else? I don't think. Yeah, it's just me using that. So we're just going to invert this, and this should be... Alright, let's give that a rip. See what happens. It'd be pretty cool if that like automatically manages itself. I think that'd be kind of neat. Or we just pop in that property. That's cool. I like that. Right, so that's actually really cool. So now, yeah, because I can, I don't know what the at attribute still means here. I'm guessing it says like instance or current instance. I don't know why it would be here but not here, but I don't know. Maybe it's just a semantic thing. I really don't know. So now I could just tell it like, hey, here's my command. And then it would be cool if I could do something with an observable here, but like just exposing a property out there from my view model is really not that big of a deal. So it's not the end of the world to get that set up. So yeah, I think that's pretty sweet. I think this is quite successful. A bit more successful than I thought it would be. Yeah, so sweet. So, I don't know, just to recap here, I guess it's probably a good stopping point. So to recap, we created a new Blazor application, wrapped it with an Electron host using ElectronNet, and then hooked in ReactiveUI and got some change notifications and things like that pumped out there. All of which is pretty outstanding. And really, it's fairly straightforward. I'm surprised I got as far as I did here. Yeah, that's actually really cool. So, you know, it's like we were able to build a desktop application. So I've got like that last release here, right? Even as an installed app. Build a desktop application. Running .NET Core to host the web. Using my favorite ReactiveUI view, you know, MVVM framework there on the back end to control our user interface. It's actually kind of awesome. A little bit ridiculous. It's super ridiculous. I take it back. I'm into all this. This is really cool. yeah, so I'll check the chat here, see if there's any other questions, things like that. Doesn't look like there's much out there for today. So yeah, so I think I'll probably wrap it up here. For everybody who joined, or anybody who's watching this later on, hopefully you found this to be somewhat interesting. As always, like every person streaming, like, follow, and subscribe. Tell your neighbor, tell your friends. I hope you have a good start to 2020 here. This is exciting for me, I'll tell you that. And yeah, probably be back next week. Maybe we'll continue on with this. So I know, like I was saying here, I got to do a little bit of work to integrate with some desktop components. So I know I'm probably gonna have to build a command line app to take screenshots and to do some Git inspection out there. So I think maybe we'll do that next week. Maybe we'll look at some other stuff, like, you know, perhaps I've got these Meadow boards that I've been messing around with quite a bit here lately. Maybe we could do something with Meadow. I don't know. I'll throw it up there on Twitter and see if anybody has any suggestions. But if there's anything else in the .NET world that you're interested in, just let me know, and we could take a look at that. But I hope you have a good rest of your day or week, depending on what you're up to. And we'll see you again soon. Bye.